throughout the year to help you make decisions before it's too late. Give us a call at 614-524-4888. That's 614-524-4888.
Welcome in. Ready to get started on the show. Glad to have you with us. Well, it's a sad day in the offices of the newspapers of the state of Ohio. The Cleveland Plain Dealer, the Columbus Dispatch, the angry Bobcat at the Columbus Dispatch is very angry today. And at the Plain Dealer, my former employer for 18 years, I can only imagine how disconsolate they are. Not only because Bernie Moreno stomped all over the preferred Democratic candidate in the Republican Senate primary, but because they see the writing on the wall. Yeah, the writing on the wall from the chapter of, I forget what chapter it is, but it's in the book of Daniel. Looks bad for Sherrod Brown in the fall. Looks really bad based on the results of last night's primary. We will have it all for you today here on the Bruce Hooley Show. Glad to have you along. Bernie Moreno won with 50% of the vote, and he won every county in the state of Ohio. Too bad. Smear campaigns. Nice try. Didn't work. And Frank LaRose came in with 16% of the vote. Frank's an honorable man. He has served his country with distinction. He's serving well as Ohio Secretary of State. I think Frank suffered from the fact that his candidate profile is not what people across the state of Ohio right now, and I think across the country, are most receptive to, and that is a citizen public servant. Frank has been in politics a while, not like Sherrod Brown, who's made a career out of it, but I just think people prefer the outsider. Donald Trump is an outsider. We have the ultimate insider, who is the president of our country. His party, Joe Biden's, is led by a gaggle of insiders. And funny how when the insiders run it, the rest of us are left on the outside. So Bernie Moreno wins, and Bernie Moreno wins with 50% of the vote. Matt Dolan has 33%. Wow. How much money has Matt Dolan paid over the last two Senate primaries trying to buy a Senate seat? Should have spent Dad's money on a 40 home run guy for a corner infielder, maybe, or a designated hitter, Matt. That would have made you a lot more popular in Cuyahoga County, which he couldn't even carry among, the 12 Republicans who actually reside in Cuyahoga County. He couldn't even carry that. Bernie Moreno carried that. You know why Bernie Moreno carried Cuyahoga County? Because he's employed people in Cuyahoga County for years and years and years and years, because he's dealt with people in business in Cuyahoga County for years and years and years and years, because they know that all the smears against Bernie Moreno are a bunch of garbage, a bunch of political games in which Matt Dolan trafficked, in which Democrats tried to disadvantage Bernie Moreno, but it did not work. He will be your Senate nominee in the fall. Jim Jordan's endorsement, Donald Trump's endorsement made all the difference over and above all the things that the Democrats tried to smear Bernie with. We're endeavoring. We'll see if we can get Bernie on the show today. We texted this morning. I texted him my congratulations. He's super excited. He will make a great senator. But, of course, he's going against somebody who will have every advantage, not just money, because the Democrats never run out of money, but Sherrod Brown will have the media in his corner. He will have the White House in his corner. He will have all the things that Democrats use to exert their influence over elections in his corner, except in the state of Ohio. It'll be harder for Sherrod Brown to cheat than it is for Democrats to cheat in other states. Here is Bernie Moreno last night, just after winning, focused on the thing he needs to be focused on, which is defeating Sherrod Brown in the fall. That's not me typing, by the way. That's somebody typing near the microphone that Bernie was using last night at his victory party in Westlake, Ohio. Let's vet that. Let's see. Is that correct? Has Sherrod Brown been in public office since Richard Nixon was in the White House? That can't possibly be right, can it? Yep, it's right. I've told you guys many times I met Sherrod Brown. He was trying to become the youngest guy ever elected to the Ohio House of Representatives. 1974 is when he was elected to the Ohio House of Representatives. 1974. Let me do the math on that. That is 26 years plus 24 years. That, by my math, that's 50 years in public office. I would looking forward tonight to being with Mike Gallagher, host of the Mike Gallagher Show at the Lazy Chameleon. I just did a hit with Mike before the top of the hour. You may have heard it. And I said, we could fix Social Security if we could just get Democratic politicians to raise the retirement age to when Democratic politicians retire. I wouldn't like it because we'd all have to work until we're 80, but none of them retire. Like Pelosi doesn't retire. Sherrod Brown doesn't want to retire. He wants to work. He's 71 years old. He's running for another. He'll be 72 in November. He wants to serve till he's 78 at least. Probably can't give it up. Same way Joe Biden. Here's Sherrod Brown's lost one election in his political career. He may have taught at Ohio State's Mansfield campus for 2 years. He may have. I don't know. That's the only possibility that he could have worked if you call public education the private sector, which I really don't because public education. But here's Sherrod Brown's litany of offices. Ohio House from 1974 to 1982. Ohio Secretary of State in 82, reelected in 1986. In 90, he lost an election, but he ran again in 1992, and he was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives. He served in the U.S. House of Representatives from 1992 until 2006. 14 years, okay? 7 terms. Then he ran for U.S. Senate against a guy you might have heard of, Mike DeWine. I know, sorry. Put a bad taste in your mouth. He beat DeWine in 2006 in Ohio. Tells you how Ohio politics have changed, right? Since 2006, doesn't seem like that long ago, pretty long ago, given these results. Sherrod Brown beat Mike DeWine 56-44 for a Senate seat. He beat Josh Mandel when he ran for re-election in 2012, 50-44. He beat Jim Renacci in 2018 by 6.8%. Do you notice a trend? Do you notice a trend? I notice a trend. Sherrod Brown, the longer he's in Senate, the less popular he becomes. He beat DeWine 56-44. He beat Mandel 50-44. And then he beat Renacci by 6.8%. Now you say, well, that's goes up 50-44. Yeah, because Mandel was the candidate and Mandel dropped out like in February. And Renacci was like a last-minute placeholder. He didn't really get a chance to run a real campaign. 538.com tracks how people vote, whether they vote with the president most of the time, some of the time, none of the time. Sherrod Brown votes with Joe Biden, according to 538, 98% of the time. 98% of the time. It'll be interesting to see how Sherrod Brown runs from Joe Biden in the fall and the policies of Joe Biden, given the fact that he supports him 98% of the time. Here's Bernie Moreno last night talking about how Chuck Schumer and other Democrats ran attack ads against him. Remember I played the attack ad? Bernie Moreno will adopt Donald Trump's agenda. I'm like, yeah, great. I'm voting for it. Here's Bernie on the attempts by Democrats to lift Matt Dolan by smearing Bernie Moreno. Is that arguable at all? Under Joe Biden, everything is objectively worse. Are you paying more at the grocery store? Are you paying more at the pump? Your real estate taxes go up. Your interest rates go up. Try to buy a car prices go up. Are we less secure and safe around the world? Do you feel like the Justice Department equally applies the law? We are objectively worse across the board. And if we can elect Bernie Moreno over Sherrod Brown, that'll go a long way toward winning back the Senate. Hopefully we can hold the House, and hopefully we get the White House as well.
Afternoon times of clouds and sun, a windy day. High today 38, clear and breezy this evening. A cold night, low tonight at 21. Partly sunny, chilly day tomorrow, the high 41. And then Friday, clouds a bit milder. A couple of showers, the high on Friday 58. Clouds, breezy, chilly day on Saturday, high 43. And then mostly sunny, a little bit warmer on Sunday, the high Sunday afternoon 52. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
Bob and Monica Handrick talk about the projects Miller Cabinets of Plain City have designed and created for them.
It was probably about 9 years ago. We got our kitchen totally remodeled, and we looked at several cabinetry places, and we found Miller Cabinetry, and we said, let's go with them. And I would have to say, today, our cabinets are just as beautiful as they were when we first got them put in, and we love it. And since then, we do have many other cabinetry made for our home.
I'd just like to add that in my business career, we had some of the largest kitchen cabinet manufacturers that we sold to. So I had a good understanding of what a custom cabinet was. Used. So we put all that information together, design, flexibility, quality, construction, and it was a no-brainer. We went with Miller Cabinets.
Let Miller Cabinets of Plain City design and create for your home. Get inspired today at millercabinets.com.
Donald Trump's indictment proves that saving America is not going to be easy. There are entrenched powers that are fighting this with everything they've got. They want to keep control over the country, the narrative, and the nation's money supply. Hi, I'm Lance Wall now. I'm a news analyst, a Christian author, and evangelical leader. I speak to millions of people every week, people just like you. You see, what the elites are doing is using inflation and government handouts and now central bank digital currencies to determine how they're going to control America. And that's why I recommend all Canadians start a gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group. Because physical precious metals are one of the few ways you can maintain control over your own savings. To get a free info kit on gold IRAs, text the word faith to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and you'll see why a gold IRA can help you. There are no strings attached. Text the word faith to 989898 and you're going to be blessed by taking action right now.
Breaking news and weather across the country. Insight from the brightest minds in conservative opinion. It's Salem News Channel, home to the biggest shows on TV, like Dennis Prager, weekdays at noon Eastern, followed by Jay and Jordan Sekulow at 2. Join SNC, where facts are sacred, critical thinking is celebrated, and the pursuit of truth is unwavering. Watch Salem News Channel free now on Sumo Play. Learn more at snc.tv/Sumo.
Oil and natural gas keep going up as the Russia conflict escalates. Get in on the next major oil boom now and help the U.S. with your patriotic investment that can potentially pay you monthly income for up to 20 or more years. That's the sound of a producing oil well and the sound of a smart investment. If you're an SEC accredited investor and have at least 25,000 liquids now, you can take advantage of Encore Energy's projects and a huge tax savings for this year. If you invest in oil and natural gas, you're allowed to write off nearly 100% of your investment in the first year. Goldman Sachs is projecting oil to go up to $100 a barrel, and natural gas is the fuel of the future and trading at record prices. Call 800-287-6691. Encore Energy is a major investor and experienced operator in its core area of operations. Call now and learn how to deduct 100% of your investment and create 20 or more years of potential monthly income. Call 800-287-6691. That's 800-287-6691.
No better thing to do with your tax refund than beautify your own home, right? You can't afford to move anywhere. Your interest rate will go through the roof. If you want to beautify your flooring, soft step carpet and flooring in Plain City is the way to go. And I'm the guy to get a hold of. You can email me, brucehooley@gmail.com, Or you can go to my website, brucehooley.com, and click on flooring in the upper right-hand corner, fill out the form, and I'll contact you. I'm going to hang out with a bunch of fans tonight at the Lazy Chameleon. Why not let me hang out at your place with my tape measure in hand, one-on-one? We'll get you hooked up with one of the best carpet brands out there. We have them all the top brands, Shaw, Mohawk, Anderson, Dreamweaver. We got them all. We've got LVP, luxury vinyl plank, looks like wood, looks like tile, scratch-proof, dent-proof, waterproof, awesome product. We can put that in. We'll get it in inside of a month. We'll save you a lot of money. I can explain how when you reach out to me, brucehooley@gmail.com, brucehooley.com, or stop by the store on 161, just down from Costco, near Post Road and 33. Hey, I may have discovered something in Sherrod Brown's background that if it were in Bernie Moreno's background, it would decide the Ohio Senate primary. Of course, the Democrats will not freak out about this like they would if it were on Bernie Moreno's resume. Sherrod Brown, it turns out, attended Yale and majored in, are you ready for this? Russian studies. Sherrod Brown majored in Russian studies. Uh-oh, he's a plant. He's a Putin ally. I know Putin wasn't the president of Russia back when Sherrod Brown was at Yale, but nevertheless, do you think if that were on Bernie Moreno's resume, that they would let it ride? No, of course not. You know how I know this? Because here's a tweet from one of the most dishonest reporters, and I know, it's a close race, it's photo finish. They're all in the picture. Daryl Rowland, WSYX, Channel 6, 14 hours ago. So let's see, it's 11:23. So we're, 9 o'clock-ish, right when Moreno was declared the winner of the Ohio primary. Daryl Rowland tweets this. Let's get this ugly question out here now. Will Bernie Moreno and his supporters drag out Sherrod Brown's messy divorce from the 1980s, as they typically do whenever he's on the ballot, including 6 years ago? Don't you guys dare talk about anything in Sherrod Brown's background now. Don't you? That would be unfair. Don't do that. Well, I don't know that we'll get to the divorce in the 80s because we got a lot more recent stuff we could concentrate on, including Sherrod Brown's age, the fact that he's a career politician, the fact that he has sided with Joe Biden on 98% of votes in front of the Senate. Let's read from Sherrod Brown's Wikipedia page below the part where it talks about him being a Russian studies major. In 2019, when Sherrod Brown was considering running for president, he pledged not to take donations from corporate PACs. He had accepted more than $10 million in PAC money from 1997 to 2018. Since Brown declined to seek the presidency in 2019, his Senate Campaign Committee and Leadership PAC have accepted over $1 million in corporate PAC donations. Some of the corporate PAC money that Brown accepted came from the health insurance and pharmaceutical companies that the state of Ohio is suing for allegedly illegally driving up drug prices. Sherrod Brown will tell you that he's man of the people, right? Oh, he's all about the $35 insulin and lowering prices for the common working man. And look at that. Look at that. He says, I'm not going to take PAC money. And then he takes PAC money from the people who the state of Ohio is suing for screwing you as an average, ordinary, blue-collar citizen that Sherrod Brown says he represents. Oh, Sherrod. No, we probably won't get to your divorce. Probably won't get to it. Too much in your background. Too much in your background to talk about. Bernie Moreno, though, knows how this deck is going to be stacked. He understands he's not going to get fair treatment in the Senate general election coverage. It is too much to ask for. That's not the media environment that we are in right now. Everybody knows that. But the gratifying thing about Bernie Moreno's victory in all 88 counties, despite the last-minute smear campaigns, and the angry Bobcat, Amelia Robinson of the Columbus Dispatch, is writing about this today in bemoaning that Bernie Moreno won all 88 counties in Ohio. She says about 66% of Ohio Republicans who responded to CNN exit polling Tuesday said Trump would be fit for office even if he's convicted of a crime. Only 33% said President Joe Biden's 2020 election victory was legit. Remember when Trump got elected the first time? And the Democrats were aghast. They couldn't believe it. And a lot of them said, I don't even know a single Donald Trump voter. Well, you don't know a single Donald Trump voter because they're not going to tell you they're a Donald Trump voter because they know you're going to shout them down. They know that you're going to disparage them, call them names, and all those other things, and have anything but a normal discussion. Dolan was banking on the fact that he was anti-Trump. He was openly anti-Trump. And he felt like there was a lane for him to become the senator because a lot of people are put off by some of Trump's rhetoric. But this polling from CNN, 70% told CNN pollsters that it is at least somewhat important that the next Ohio senator support the presumptive GOP presidential nominee. More than 50% said doing so is very important. Now, why would 70% say it's important to support the nominee and 50% say it's very important if Donald Trump was really in that much trouble with Ohio voters? I think the numbers would be a lot lower than those numbers. Trump's support in Ohio is strong. And I really honestly think Trump's support in Ohio is strong, not only because people have Trump nostalgia from Trump being the president for 4 years, but because they have a very easy comparable between the 4 years of Trump and the 4 years of Biden. I think Joe Biden is responsible for a lot of people, grudging or not, who support Donald Trump or will support Donald Trump in the general election. And I also think there is a movement nationwide for people who have not been career politicians to be looked upon favorably. I'm sorry to say Patty Hamilton did not win her race in Ohio's 12th district for the Ohio House, but she was, to me, surprisingly close for a first-time candidate. Mike Tussey did not win his race against Blue 22 Jeff LaRae. We had Tussey on the show. He was surprisingly close. That tells you something.
But that's our news. Thomason. Growing increasingly difficult to keep track of the status of the Texas border law. Now it's on hold again in advance of a hearing today before the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals. A big win for Trump-endorsed Bernie Moreno, three-way Republican U.S. Senate primary in Ohio. Israel says its military has killed scores of Hamas terrorists operating in and around Gaza's largest hospital and captured many more at the Al-Shifa hospital. Later today, the Federal Reserve will be announcing its latest decision on interest rates. Central bank expected to leave the cost of borrowing unchanged. And Senator Lindsey Graham is calling on the U.S. government to offer Ukraine interest-free loans. On Wall Street, the Dow 43 points higher, the NASDAQ Composite Index is up 14, and the S&P trading 5 points to the upside. More details at srnnews.com.
Our government has engorged itself on borrowed money. Now we are over $30 trillion in debt. If this bubble finally implodes, many Americans will be left penniless and heartbroken. For example, what happens if state and federal pension funds go broke, or if 401ks and IRAs get cut in half due to hyperinflation? Hi, I'm Lance Wallnow, news analyst, best-selling author, and evangelical leader to millions of people just like you. People who understand something big is coming. Now's the time to prepare with a physical gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. Precious metals are among the most proven hedges you can make, and they're even better inside a tax advantage account. To get a free info kit on gold IRAs, text the word FAITH, F-A-I-T-H, to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and see why a gold IRA can help you. There are no strings attached, so just text FAITH to the number 989898 right now, and I pray you are blessed with continued
His mission used to be to protect and serve. Now he's on a mission to serve God, to be the voice of and for the people. He's Brandon Tatum, and you can hear him weeknights from 8 to 11 on The Officer Tatum Show on 98.9 FM. The Answer.
Hey, it's Bruce Hooley, and most of you know what I've been through medically over the past few months, and I've gotten great care from conventional medicine, but I've also turned down some options that conventional medicine recommended. Why? Because I believe in my body's ability to heal itself. That's why I'm so excited to tell you about an alternative option for the joint pain that you're suffering right now. QC Kinetics is advanced regenerative medicine that gives lasting relief to people with joint pain. No surgery, no drugs, no downtime. Your body is equipped to heal itself. The platelets in your body will do that, but sometimes your body needs a little bit more of them because of our advancing age or because the problem requires a little bit more than your body gives naturally to those areas that hurt, like your knees, your back, your hip. Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation with local medical professionals to help you get out of pain. Get ready for spring and summer and those activities that you love so much. Call QC Kinetics today, 380-208-4544, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
War has played a key role in the history of the United States, the nation's founding right down to the present. Wars made the United States independent, kept it together, increased its size.
Why can't I find that?
As a global superpower. Hi, I'm James Early, host
I know I
of the
cut that
Battles of American
sound.
History podcast. In each episode, I discuss American history through the lens of the most important battles of America's wars. To start listening now, go to parthenonpodcast.com or search Key Battles of American History on your favorite podcasting platform.
News, opinion. Here, 98.9 FM. The Answer. Anywhere you go with The Answer's mobile app at 98.9theanswer.com. Also on your smart speakers, TuneIn or iHeart.
I believe it was Marie Antoinette who said, let him eat cake. I could be wrong on that, but I know this. I'm not wrong on this. Bruce Hooley says, let him eat steak. As long as it's riverbendranch.com/Bruce Hooley steak. And that is the best steak you will ever get. You know why? A couple of reasons. Number one, no hormones, no antibiotics in the cattle ever. Number two, every cut is USDA choice and prime. They won't sell it to you if it's not. Number three, the beef is bred with genetics that portend the best marbling possible. Then it's butchered on premises on the ranch out west where it comes from and flash frozen after it's dry aged to perfection, shipped right to your door. Okay, lots of reasons. Here's another great reason. It's cheaper than Butcher Box, cheaper than Moink, cheaper than Omaha Steaks. And here's another reason. You don't have to order every month. You can order every month or every other month. Wow, there's a lot to like in that scenario. So why don't you check it out at riverbendranchsteaks.com/Bruce Hooley, riverbendranchsteaks.com/Bruce Hooley. Hope to see you tonight at the Lazy Chameleon. If you do not have a ticket, I don't think you'll be able to get in because, in fact, I know you won't be able to get in because we have to have a ticket to get in. And we're sold out. And we're happy to be sold out. I was in contact with some of my friends last night who say they are coming. Really looking forward to seeing you guys there tonight. And we'll have fun. It'll be Jack Windsor, Mike Gallagher, myself. We're going to open the doors at 6. We're going to eat. We're going to network, take some photos, have a little Q&A session during our presentation that will start at 7 from the stage. So don't worry, we'll have others. We'll have the big talkers tour thing at Genoa in the fall like we have had in the past. And this is a presidential election year, and we want to get out and we want to interact with you guys. Like I said, I wish every race last night had gone as well as the GOP Senate race, as well as the Madison County Commissioners race. Shout out to Brendan Shea. He won in a landslide. People in Madison County don't want big solar. By the way, speaking of landslides, Olentangy school levy. Olentangy residents voted that bad boy down by what, 67% to 33% ish. But sadly, some places are beyond help, and we live either in or around a city that answers to that description. I'm talking, of course, about the capital city of Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, which had 3 choices for Franklin County Prosecutor. And in typical Columbus fashion, where Democrats rule and are never accountable for any of their failed policies, The voters of Franklin County have decided that they would like to replace the worst prosecutor in the history of Franklin County, Gary Tyack, with someone who has every credential to be even worse, Shayla Faber. Shayla Faber equated her win to a win for little black and brown girls everywhere. So she's a Fonnie Willis wannabe. She wants to paint everything she does in racial terms. This will make her popular with the angry bobcat, Amelia Robinson, at the Columbus Dispatch, and every other wokester at the Columbus Dispatch, which is to say everybody who walks into that building. But it will not make her popular with Columbus police because, funny thing about police, they don't like prosecutors who are looking first and foremost at them as criminals, not at the criminals as criminals. I interacted with a couple Columbus police officers who are friends of mine today, some in management, some in the force. And the general perception of Shayla Faber's election as the assured Franklin County prosecutor in the fall, because while I would love to see the Republican candidate, John Rutan, win, he's a Republican. So he's got the scarlet letter on him. He can't win. Not in this town. The general consensus of the police that I talked to is that Shayla Faber's election is a gut punch, and that what you will see, one officer predicted, is that now officers will stay in their cars, not get out, not get involved, because Shayla Faber is a no cash bail, prosecute police whenever she can type of prosecutor. That is who she is. That is what her comments have portrayed her as. That is why she won, most likely. Here's an oddity, at least it's odd to me, must not be odd to Franklin County voters. Your likely next Franklin County prosecutor has never worked in the prosecutor's office. Wow. That seems like a glaring gap on a resume to me. She was an assistant city attorney in the environmental division. So if your tree branch was intruding on your neighbor, Shayla Faber coming for you. If you're a juvenile who steals cars, not so much. This is, I mean, look, I shouldn't laugh because police officers are going to leave the force in droves over her. They're already woefully short on police officers on the force. Shayla Faber's presence in the Franklin County Prosecutor's Office is going to convince more Columbus police officers to do what many have done already, which is look to the suburbs and say, could I become a police officer in Hilliard, Upper Arlington, Dublin, New Albany, Gahanna, and do pretty well for myself? Yeah, probably could. Okay, it's not worth my trouble trying to be an actual police officer, trying to keep the peace in neighborhoods where the people in charge don't want to prosecute crime because, it might hurt me at the ballot box. I mean, Andrew Ginther will tell you, the mayor of Columbus, he will tell you that the city is safer now. That's a lie if you look at, I don't know, the murder totals since he became mayor. They're astronomical. They are astronomical, and the single highest yearly murder totals in Columbus history. Andrew Ginther's like the New York Yankees of murder in Columbus, Ohio. Like you look down the list at the numbers. Who was mayor? Ginther. Oh, Coleman, Ginther. Like, it's crazy. And he keeps winning re-election. Why? Because he's a Democrat. And because Democratic voters are stupid. And because they say, we got to get a safer city. Andrew Ginther says safety is his number one priority. And then he goes and spends $100 million on a bike path. This is just nuts. The defund the police movement, all the woke sloganeering, and all the policy positions that have made Columbus decidedly less safe resulted in much more property crime, turned the short north into a shooting gallery. We got what we got 10,000 car thefts where a judge can't get elected as an incumbent without switching their political affiliation from Republican to Democrat. All you people just keep doubling down on it. Shayla Favor wins. First thing she goes to, race card. This campaign was for the next generation of little black and brown girls, Favor said. What does that have to do with anything? Like, what does that, I'm serious, like, what does that have to do with anything needed to be a good prosecutor in a capital city in the United States of America, where murder proliferates and where crime proliferates? Oh, it sounds great. Look, I have no objection, none, zero, zip, nada, to her inspiring little black girls, brown girls, white girls to want to be like her. Why could she not portray this as like girl power? Like, to exclude, like, what, little white girls like wouldn't want to grow up and become a lawyer, wouldn't want to become a public servant, wouldn't want to make their city where they grow up safer? Man, Barack Obama put us on this path to prioritizing race above meritocracy. We were past this. We had instances, of course, of racism, but we did not have what the left has latched onto like a pit bull does a chew toy ever since Obama's second term, where any criticism of him became about his race, not about the ineffectiveness of his policies. And then George Floyd happened, and George Soros and others all of a sudden were ready with their pallets of bricks and frozen bottles of water and cans of food. Oh, I'm just going to the food pantry. And I just had an overwhelming urge. I thought there was a police officer over there going, hey, I'm hungry. Could you throw a can of soup my way? Like, one thing about the left, they don't waste an opportunity. They not only never hold a victory party, they're always continuing to push, but they also never let an opportunity to push their agenda go by. And Shayla Favor's not going to let that opportunity go by. My win is a win for little black girls. I would hope your win is a win for competence, for fairness, for justice, for you being somebody who will stand for equal protection under the law. Like, that's what I hope your victory stands for. But that's not what she sees it as. And oh, by the way, you say, Shayla Favor, Shayla Favor, Shayla Favor. Didn't she just get elected to the Columbus City Council? Yeah, she did. Less than a month after she was elected to Columbus City Council, I pledge my undying loyalty to the citizens of the Columbus. Elect me to the city council, and I will be with you throughout my term. A month later, she announces she's running for prosecutor, and the people reward her for bailing on them. Being healthy, big time important, particularly when you get the kind of diagnosis that I did back in September. Thankfully, by that time, we were already members of the private shopping club via patriotswitch.com/Bruce, where the products that we now use in our home to wash our clothes, to clean our countertops, mouthwash, toothpaste, all those personal care items, even nutrition bars, and many, 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 many other products. 450 made by this company, not outsourced, not made in Mexico, not made in China. Everything's made in the good old US of A. Made from plants and plant extracts and shipped right to your door. Oh, shipping must be crushing. Nope, $10 a month. That's what it is. And guess what? They'll even credit that back to your next order. So why don't you go to patriotswitch.com/Bruce and find out how you can take market share away from big woke companies like Procter & Gamble, Heinz, Nestle, Unilever. These are companies that donate to causes you don't support. Why wouldn't you support a family-owned company that donates to pro-life causes and pro-police causes? You can at patriotswitch.com/Bruce, patriotswitch.com/Bruce. So here's the attack ad that Club for Growth was running. I think it's Club for Growth. I might be wrong on that, but here's the attack ad that they were running for Bernie Moreno, against Bernie Moreno. This is the Schumer-backed ad that was supposed to make people vote for Matt Dolan and not vote for Bernie Moreno. Yep. Yep. No, I was wrong. It's not Club for Growth. It's Duty and Country. Yeah, Duty and Country. Well, I think that ad helped him. I really do. I really do think that ad helped Bernie Moreno. And he won all 88 counties in Ohio, and he won 50% of the vote. The Plain Dealer this morning was whining in their headlines. The Bernie Moreno win shows that we just can't trust political polling anymore. Or that people know how your pollster on the phone is going to react if you say, yeah, I'm voting for Trump, I'm voting for Moreno. And they know that you're going to disparage them or talk them out of it or not give an authentic response, or they just hate you because they sense that you have an agenda counter to their own. So Bernie Moreno is your Senate winner, and an easy win at that. And I'm sure we'll catch up with Bernie soon, and we look forward to doing so. And I look forward to him being our next senator, because I think it is the time. Sherrod Brown has been pretty fortunate, very fortunate, in fact, to run at times where there was not the kind of phenomenon that we see at work with Donald Trump. This kind of grassroots, I'm sick of this stuff attitude out there among the Ohio electorate. And I don't think he's ever run against a candidate. He's run against Mike DeWine. By the way, how about the power of the Mike DeWine, Rob Portman endorsement? Does that tell you what kind of senator the people of the state of Ohio want? When you got Trump and Jim Jordan and J.D. Vance endorsing Bernie Moreno, and you have Rob Portman, Hugh Hewitt's favorite senator, by the way, and Mike DeWine endorsing Matt Dolan. Poor Dolan. What does he run for now, Matt Dolan? I'll tell you what, Derek Marin, the guy who should be Speaker of the House, is going to be running for. He's term limited out of the Ohio House, but Derek Marin is now going to be running for U.S. Representative Marcy Kaptur's seat. She's like the House of Representatives version of Sherrod Brown. She's been in the House of Representatives, Marcy Kaptur, representing the Toledo area and the northeast-ish central area of Ohio since 1983. It's a good gig. Hopefully Marcy's about to lose it to Derek Marin. Listen to how the Associated Press writes about Derek Marin, who, let me refresh your memory on Derek Marin. Derek Marin was serving in the Ohio House prior to the end of calendar year 2022. The House is ready to go on recess in the Ohio General Assembly. And the Republicans caucus, all the Republicans in the House caucus, get together, they have a meeting. Who are we going to vote Speaker of the House in January? They all pledged their support to Derek Merrin. All of them. Then they came back in January and, oh, look at this. 22 of the Republicans who said they were going to support Derek Merrin said, we're liars. We're now going to join with 37 Democrats in the House, and we're going to support Jason Stevens as Speaker. So that's the backstory on Derek Merrin. Here's how the Associated Press writes it. Merrin led an intra-party rebellion in the Ohio House last year after losing a bitter battle for Speaker. He led an intra-party rebellion? He got stabbed in the back, you idiot, Julie Carr Smythe. Like, the dishonesty in media. Like, they just think they take us for boobs. Like, we don't remember how things worked. Up is down, down is up. Bernie Moreno is going to enact Donald Trump's like. Maybe that's what we want. Maybe that's why he won. The Democrats are just so lost, so captured. I'm trying to be kind. So evil. Here's a memo from the CIA that was discovered via a Freedom of Information Act request. This memo is distributed in a newsletter to every member of the intelligence community. So CIA, FBI, they're all getting this newsletter with this memo in it, where a CIA top intelligence official says that, are you ready for this? Dressing up in women's clothing makes him a better intelligence officer. I was always under the impression, maybe I watched too many spy movies. Maybe I watched The Americans too many times. That if you dressed up or you were vulnerable with anything in your private life, you could be exposed as a hindrance to the U.S. government. You could be blackmailed. You could be exposed. Well, that was probably true back then, back when you couldn't be a cross-dressing CIA official. But now, in the Biden administration, where you can be a dude wearing a dress and lift luggage off airport carousels and be in charge of disposing of nuclear waste like Sticky Fingers Sam Brinton, you can be as deviant and as much of a pervert as you can possibly be and be rewarded for it. Here's what the memo said. This guy's got a top job in government. He's a cross-dresser writing about it in a newsletter distributed to everyone in the intelligence community and not going to lose his job over it. Of course. I am an intelligence officer and I am a man who likes to wear women's clothes sometimes. My gender identity and expression make me a better intelligence officer. How so? The article continues. I think my experiences as someone who cross-dresses have sharpened the skills I use as an intelligence officer. I am more aware of and hopefully more supportive of my women colleagues. I have a better appreciation for how it can be uncomfortable to wear women's clothes sometimes. Oh, well, I hadn't thought of that. Silly me. On my list of presumed qualifications to be a successful intelligence officer in the CIA, I would have had ability to keep secrets, ability to get others to tell you secrets, accuracy with a firearm, wisdom, discernment, good judgment. I wouldn't have had on my bingo card understanding that wearing high heels hurts women's feet, because he goes on to say, I know firsthand, not secondhand, not from complaints from colleagues. I know firsthand how wearing heels can make your feet hurt and make it take longer to walk somewhere. Now, you can be the most Neanderthal man possible, okay? Listen to me, dudes. Don't we all have a basic understanding that heels are uncomfortable to walk in? This intelligence officer says, though, that he gained that information only by wearing heels himself. There are some limits I'm not willing to go to identify with the fairer sex. He talks about undergarments later on. I'll spare you the details of that because it's time for lunch.
Whether it's the melting winter snow or the spring rain that's coming, you've got good leaks like water's coming in. There's nothing you can do to stop it. Well, actually there is, but you got to take a step.
This is Bob France, and that step is to call Sky Roofing at 614-280-9308. Look, Sky Roofing is not some fly-by-night storm chaser company that comes in after a storm, claims they fixed your leaks, then disappears before it starts leaking again, leaving you to find someone else. No, Sky Roofing is here for the long haul. They've been serving Ohio homeowners for over 2 decades, and their pledge is to treat your roof like it was one of their own. So if your roof is in disrepair, maybe you've got some gaps in the shingles, or maybe your roof has served its time well for you, but you just need a new one, the damage that's going to be caused by all of those leaks is going to be worse than the cost of getting it done. Do yourself a favor, get it done right. Call Sky Roofing, 614-280-9308. Call today, get a great quote, learn more at skyroofinggroup.com. Sky Roofing is roofing done right.
Find us at 989theanswer.com. Download our apps and stream us 24/7. WTOH and WTOH HD1, Upper Arlington, Columbus.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. The judge overseeing the Georgia election interference case is allowing Donald Trump to appeal a ruling allowing Fulton County District Attorney Bonnie Willis to remain in the prosecution. Superior Court Judge Scott McGathy granted a request by defense attorneys to ask the Georgia Court of Appeals to review the judge's decision. It's now up to the appeals court to decide whether the court will hear it. Donald Trump leaning towards supporting a 15-week national ban on abortion. White House correspondent Greg Clugston with that report.
The former president has taken credit for overturning Roe v. Wade by appointing 3 justices to the Supreme Court, but he's been reluctant to endorse an abortion ban. Trump told WABC Radio this week he's considering a ban around 15 weeks of pregnancy. However, he supports exceptions for rape, incest, and saving the mother's life, which he said the vast majority of Republicans support. And to pro-life Republicans who want tougher abortion restrictions, Trump said, here's the problem. You have to win elections. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Also at townhall.com, the IRS chief zeroing in on wealthy tax cheats.
IRS Commissioner Danny Werfel says the federal tax collector will expand its pursuit of high wealth tax dodgers with new initiatives.
If we are collecting what is owed from the wealthiest taxpayers, it means that others aren't shouldering the burden of funding our government.
He says the IRS is using tools like AI to catch, cheat, and promising taxpayers better service. But it's a tall order for a federal agency that even Werfel has referred to as iconically unpopular with the American public. I'm Julie Walker.
The Dow had 17 points. The NASDAQ 4 points in the red. More at townhall.com.
This afternoon, times of clouds and sun, a windy day. High today 48, clear and breezy this evening. A cold night, low tonight at 21. Partly sunny, chilly day tomorrow, the high 41. And then Friday, clouds a bit milder. Couple of showers, the high on Friday 58. Cloud, breezy, chilly day on Saturday, high 43. And then mostly sunny, a little bit warmer on Sunday, the high Sunday afternoon 52. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
Weekday afternoons from 5 to 6. Tune in to Central Ohio's top drive time show on politics, policies, and personalities shaping statewide and across America on the Windsor Report with Jack Windsor. The Windsor Report with Jack Windsor on your station for news, opinion, and passion. 98.9 FM, The Answer.
Come. Competition for some of Ukraine's farm products, along with rising costs, have prompted about 70,000 farmers in Poland to turn out for another nationwide protest.
Polish farmers have 2 key demands. They want European Union climate proposals that they say will raise farmers' costs thrown out. Secondly, they're demanding the immediate suspension of uncontrolled imports of Ukrainian and Russian agricultural products. Farmers' protests enjoy considerable public support here. The government says it continues to back Ukraine in its war against Russian aggression. But that support must not come at the cost of Polish farmers.
BBC correspondent Adam Easton. Britain's Foreign Secretary David Cameron has met with Thailand's Prime Minister on his first visit to the Indo-Pacific region. That meeting aimed at improving cooperation in areas including defense, the economy, and trade. Breaking news at townhall.com. Media companies Gannett and McClatchy, which together control more than 200 news outlets, including USA Today.
Thanks for watching. Sorry I didn't cut the stream off a little while ago. I forgot, top of the hour, but we'll talk to you tomorrow.
He says it was